final interview of the day is right here with Miss Noriel. Did I say it right?
Norel, but you can say it like you can say my name however you want.
I forgot. Norel. No, we gotta say it right. Norel. So y'all probably wondering why I'm holding a picture frame in my lap. Let's tell the people about you and what you do.
Okay, yeah, well, I am a photographer, but I really see myself as an artist, as a curator of art. Is it okay if I say that? Okay, let's start talking. And as someone who is just working to put personification of myself out into the world because I didn't see it. So a lot of times I see myself in my models and like the photo shoots that I do, and I'm really just trying to put a feeling out there so other people can relate to me.
Okay. So you want to explain the first picture?
Sure. This one, it's not really titled yet. I do have a lot of untitled stuff, but this is from my Day at Work series. This one as well. So they're
Okay,
set.
so I just have a question because I still ain't seen it yet. So what's the point of the face being covered?
Of the face, you know what? Most important question I feel like of my artistic career is like, why are you doing that? And it's because I do feel like, and it's interesting you say you're having a hard time getting it, because I mean it's all good feedback, but sometimes when you blur out the model's face, you can kind of put your own emotions into it. And I think that's been a block for me because I've always wanted to make art. I never just wanted to be a photographer, and that's always just been a tool. That's always just been a tool for me.
Okay.
And when I started doing this, it was cathartic. It was like, you know what I'm saying? And I could just print another one. Like it wasn't like this one of one thing. I could just print another because they were my photographs. So these are part of another study. I did 3 different versions of this with different colors. So yeah, and it's just more about like an explosive, like you're taking a break, but then you have red as this bold, abrasive color, and it's going out of the frame. So
So how long have you been doing this?
This specifically, or just my thing?
Your thing.
My thing. Yeah. Since 2015, that's when I decided to become a photographer. I was in the art scene a little bit as a model, just like here and there for some friends and like a very small brands. But I didn't like how I was being treated on set. There was like, misogyny everywhere. I didn't like the way women's bodies were being portrayed by a lot of people that were referred to me in Jacksonville. So I was just like, I said out there that I was too picky to be a model. Like it might have been on my path, but I was like, no, I want to control. I wanted it. The set needs to look like this. The lighting should have been like this. Why didn't you tell me to pose this way? So, photographer.
Right. Okay. So what's the biggest obstacle of being a photographer?
There's like a realistic answer and then there's like an inside answer. Realistic answer is resources. Okay. It's very expensive. Like the equipment period is very expensive, but also getting quality, like it's expensive in time and also just like money, like renting out studios and stuff like that. So that's always like a hurdle. Internally, I think I put so much into every project that afterwards I like don't even want to really look at my camera anymore. Like I need to decompress from it, and like sometimes it's like not the greatest business thing to do. Like you know what I'm saying? So like being able to run the business side by side by being creative, like as a business, has been a big hurdle for me.
Wow. So what's the longest you've spent on a project?
3 years. This project. Yeah. This is actually just part 1. Can I do a shameless plug really quick? Okay. Oh, I love how that had a little bit of shame in it. I forgot what my shameless plug was going to be. Oh yeah, I just finished posting all of Day at Work Part 1 on the N Agency's Instagram. So you can view the actual photographs on my Instagram that haven't been painted over quite yet. And I'll be posting parts 2 and 3 in the next couple of weeks. But yeah,
so we probably gotta follow the whole project to make it make sense.
Yeah, I guess I just gotta hop on the train and stay tuned for the ride.
Okay. So if you could leave us with 3 things today, what would it be? Motivational wise.
Motivation? Okay. Well, the first thing is, because I just heard this, so I'm gonna steal it from someone, is you don't have to believe in yourself. You just have to do the work. And you have to let the results allow you to believe into yourself. I thought so too. I was like, duh.
Just do the
So,
work.
and the other thing, and this is attached to the same, I was watching like a TED Talk, and what was attached to the speaker was like, you know, we get these negative feedback loops, like when shit doesn't go our way, like, oh my god, I'm a terrible photographer, no one's working with me, blah, 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 blah. Just turn the feedback loop off. And then when you start succeeding again, turn it back on. And so, you know what I'm saying? So in the times where you're like, in your learning curve era, turn the feedback loop off. Like, whatever, this doesn't define me as an artist. Like, this is just whatever. And then when you're in your zone, you're feeling yourself, turn the feedback loop on. Yes, I am wonderful. I am great. I am, yeah. So I feel like that's two. That knocks out two. Whew. The third one is to start now. Another quote, the best time to have planted a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is now. And it will never begin unless you start. So
do you ever feel like it's too late to start? You know, they say that a lot. It's
Yeah.
too late for me to start. Do you ever feel like it's too late?
I do, and that's when I turn my feedback loop off.
Okay.
That's when I'm like, you know, like, because so much comes with age, right? So like, yeah, you might, when you're younger, you have more energy or whatever, but I had a lot of energy, I had no direction. None whatsoever. I'm a little bit wiser now, and I'm like not doing 20 plus shoots a year just to shoot, you know, just to validate myself. Now I commit myself to a 3-year project. I started this in 2020 and finished it at the end of last year. So really, if I wanted to say it's almost a 4-year project, because I'm still doing this and editing and stuff like that. So
you're kind of like me. I feel like less is more. Like
yeah.
The less work I do and put more into what I'm doing, it comes out the way I want it.
100, not all the time, but I feel like that's what works for me. Like sometimes I'm like, I just want to do this. I got all these ideas, and I started to slow down a little bit because I realized I was burning myself out. And then sometimes you don't execute the idea the way you want. Right. You just want to do so much all the time. It's just like slow down.
Stay on one project.
Slow down. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like that's why this is like. I know we don't know each other, but this is like a huge undertaking for me, and I did it on accident. It wasn't even supposed to be a 3-year project, but I just kept doing the work, like kept setting up the shoots, kept moving forward, and it's like, oh well, God, I guess I'm finished, and this took me 3 years, and it's like a toddler, it's like a little child.
So I have one, well not one last, but it's gonna be close to the last question. What is your creative process like? Because it seems like you have a lot going on up there. So
yeah, I do have a lot going on up here. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mentioned earlier that like lots of times I feel very burned out at the end, so I do have to put up guards for that. Like I have to take rests throughout the process and schedule rest too. Like I'm someone that would be like, okay, I'm gonna knock this out, and then because I want to take advantage of the momentum, so then I'm gonna do this shoot, and then I'm gonna do like I can't do that anymore, and I could never actually, but so my process is planning heavy and carving in rest, like literally this week I need rest, like Friday, something like that. And then my process when we're doing it is it's crazy. It's crazy, but like I work with passionate people, and so I won't say crazy. It's passionate. It's like this is what we need to do. I have a very direct communication style. So I tend to work with people who are also very direct and probably seen as abrasive to other people, but because I have a very specific image in my head, and hopefully you signed on until you can get that image out, because that's the whole point of doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're focused here at Power 904 and in the gym with Nala on mental health. How do you feel about mental health?
I feel like everyone. I mean, I have a mood disorder. If you couldn't tell. If you couldn't tell. So like, I feel like people need to explore it sooner so that life will be easier for them. I think a lot of people who do have mental health issues also deal with the stigmas that come with pursuing it and getting clarity on it, and especially, and then you like loop in being a woman, you loop in being black, you loop in being poor. There's just like a lot of things that make it hard to actually get the treatment and recognition you need. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to make a blatant statement by saying I support it, but like, I think there needs to be a radical reformation and redefinition of how we look at mental health and the things that we can do to address it, because it's not irregular. It's not, you know, a lot of people have mood disorders, and if they don't, it's circumstantial and situational. So like, you might not be disabled now, but maybe later on down the line, if something traumatic happens to you, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I think that people should use more art to process their feelings, as you can probably see.
And outlet.
Yeah, and have an outlet and have a process to the outlet, and it not be monetized. I think is a big thing. Like it's okay to spend a lot of time doing something and not ever get any money back for it.
Okay. So tell the people where we can find you at.
You can find my agency at in agency ENAGNCY, like the weekend, how he doesn't put the extra E in there, like. And then me personally, I post more of these projects, whereas the agency posts more photography. So if you're interested in more of these, you can follow my personal artist Instagram at ofnorrelle, OFNORRELLE.
All right, guys, you heard it here first, right here in the Den with Nala.